Hello, it is Wednesday, the 4th of October, and I'm here to update you with the rest of the week for Susie B. Living's Moonphase gardening schedule. I've come inside and I'm in the dining room because I think I've got the best light. So that's why I'm in here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start changing around the way I do these videos, because now that we're getting into the colder months, I'm going to bring out one of these videos a week. So it'll be brought out on a Sunday night and it's going to cover the whole of the week. But because it's getting colder, there's not a huge amount to be covering in the week. So I'm going to be able to do this for the whole week. So from Sunday night, I will bring out one video and that will cover next week. The other thing I'm going to do with these videos is I am going to give you the schedule on that Sunday night. So I'm going to start this today. So I'm going to give you the schedule for the rest of the week, Thursday to Sunday. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline what I've got going on with all the categories that I use. And then I will also bring out another video that will show you like my weekly video on the allotment and the garden of what I have been doing. So let's start. Thursday, the 5th of October, the morning is still roots. I'm not sowing anything. Nothing to be sown. Transplanting, I've still got a tray of radish that I want to transplant, and I'm going to transplant them into a trough. And the only reason I'm putting them in a trough is because they are then going to go into the greenhouse. I've got all of the rest of my transplants are done, so that's my last transplant. For my weeding and maintenance, I am going into my leek bed once again and just double check all the coriander that has self-seeded in there and weed around it. That bed seems to be quite weedy. I want to check also for allium leaf minor and then cover the bed, because allium leaf minor is becoming quite prominent now. So all my alliums now get covered. So that's my weeding and maintenance. And for my harvesting, I've got beetroot still to harvest and I've got carrots to harvest. So if you've got anything like that and you want to do that on Roots Day, you've still got time on Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, we cross over to flowers, and that then covers Thursday afternoon, Thursday the 5th of October, Friday the 6th of October, and Saturday the 7th of October are all Flowers Day. So this is what I am going to cover in those days. First of all, sowing. I am going to do another tray of Orkney cauliflowers. I'm going to do another 6 of those. So that will be my final succession of cauliflowers. If you want to go back and have a look at what I'm sowing for the whole of October, then the video, I did a couple of videos ago of what I'm sowing in October, and that will give you an outline of what I'm doing for the whole of October. So that's the cauliflowers. The next thing that I'm going to sow is I'm going to sow 12. I'm only doing small, as you can see, small sowings because I just want them to keep producing all the time. I'm going to do 12 Calabrese. This is my favorite. This is called Marathon. It's an F1, and this Calabrese has worked really well for me. I'm actually still harvesting some of this. I harvested off the big heads, and now I've got little florets coming off the sides. So I'm still harvesting those. So I'm going to do 12 of those. They're my 2 sowings on Flowers Days. My transplanting is, I've got some annuals that I sowed much earlier, and flower annuals, and I'm transplanting those out. I'm just going to put those in 9-centimeter pots until they get really established, and then I'll think about whether I'm going to put them in the garden or whether I'm going to overwinter them in the greenhouse. So that's my transplanting. My weeding, my weeding and maintenance, the first thing I will do is I will keep tidying the garden beds and deadheading anything I need to deadhead. Keep weeding around all your flowers. You can start cutting back things if you want to, your perennials. But deadheading's the main thing for me. I'm also going to weed my cauliflowers on the allotment and just check on those because I've had problems with woolly aphid on those cauliflowers. So I'm just going to check on those. I've also got some Romanesco as well that I want to check on and see how they're doing. And when I say check on, it's because I have everything covered all the time. So I can't actually see a great deal of what's going on underneath. I cover them with mesh. And then I open up the mesh on flowers days and I check everything. Check for caterpillars, check for this woolly aphid that I've got a problem with, and check everything. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be harvesting, and like I said, I'll be harvesting flowers from the garden and bringing those in still. And I will also be harvesting the little florets off my Calabrese as well. So that is what I'm doing mainly on flowers days. The other thing that I'm going to throw in on my flowers days is I'm going to start to sow my sweet peas and overwinter them. I find that they do really well if you sow them now in October and overwinter them. And I have sweet pea seeds that I saved. I had some beautiful sweet peas this year. And you can also, if you want to start sowing your spring bulbs, it's a little mild here still, so I'm holding off for those. I will probably do those at the end of October, depending on what the weather's doing. But anything that I'm going to put into the ground in the garden, I'm just going to hold off a little bit. The things that go into pots, you can do at any time. So that's the flowers for Flowers Days. Sunday, the 8th of October is Leaves Day, and I'm going to be sowing some more spinach, and I will be sowing some of this spinach called Rubino. This is the one that has the red veins in it. This spinach is the spinach that will then take over after the giant winter spinach is finished. I've already sowed all of those. One tray is looking a little bit dodgy actually, so I brought it into the greenhouse to try and get it going. I think it was just outside a little bit too long and it got a little bit too soggy, the tray. But now I'm going to do this Rubino, and I am going to do 60 of those. I'm going to do a full tray. I've got the Charles Dowding trays and I use those, and I will be sowing Rubino, 60 of those. That's on my leaves. Transplanting, I have some more Asian greens to go out in the garden. So I have some more Tatsoi, and I've got some red pak choi to go in the garden. So they're going to go in. I also have another tray of spinach that is looking good. That needs to go out in the garden. This is all going into my kitchen garden here. I've got some little lettuces that are looking quite nice now, and I think I'm going to transplant those out. I'll just have to wait and see what happens with them on Sunday. I've also got some flat leaf parsley, and I've got some coriander that I want to actually plant out as well. So that's my transplanting. Weeding and maintenance on Leaves Day. I have got some cabbage over at the allotment, and again, they were succumbed to woolly aphid, so I need to go in and check that out and see whether they're any good. I have some little hispy cabbage, spring cabbage plants that I've got as spares here at home. If the woolly aphid has gotten to the cabbage too much on the allotment, then I am going to replace them with these little transplant. They're about this big. So that's going to go in. I also checked my kale. I've got some very nice Cavallonero on the allotment, and here at home I've got some very nice dwarf curly kale. And I'm just going to check the bed that I planted the Tatsoi in, if you remember it a few videos ago. Check it over, make sure there's no caterpillars, take out the perennial weeds. That's what I do on my weeding and maintenance. And for harvesting, I have got some lettuce that is starting to bolt, so that needs to come in before the next lot of lettuce takes over. I'm harvesting lettuce. I've got kale to harvest, like I said. And the main thing I want to harvest now before it gets really cold is I want to harvest my basil, and I need to make some pesto, and I will freeze that. So if you've got any basil on the go and it's looking really good, get to it now before the cold gets to it, because it will go very quickly. So that is Leaves Day on Sunday. And that's it. That's the rest of the week. So, yes, this is my new format of showing you what I'm doing for the weeks ahead on the Moonphase gardening calendar. And I will be also showing you this weekend what I have been doing in the garden this week. Just a few little snippets, and then that will continue regularly. So that is Sunday. I'll see you on Sunday, the 8th of October in the evening, and hope you have a good rest of the week. And it's going to be very mild here, so yippee. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It has helped my tomatoes no end. And my chilies are also ripening, which is really good. I'm Susie B from Susie B Living. Thumbs up if you like these videos, and I hope it's giving you some kind of structure. And subscribe, that'd be lovely as well. I will see you Sunday night. Bye.